Hi everyone, welcome back. Doug and I are joining you from Cleveland Park in North Vancouver, and if there was any question, welcome to winter. Here it is. Doug certainly loves the snow, a little bit more than I do. It's cold, you have to be prepared for the elements, and you're not the only one. You have to protect your four-legged friend when it's this cold from the elements as well. So we have Michelle Sevigny with us from Dogsafe, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about the things that you need to keep in mind. Of course, Monty is here too, what I call the gentle giant.
Yes, he loves the snow.
He loves the snow. Michelle, we look at our animals and think, hey, built-in fur coat, but that's not always a safe assumption to make.
Absolutely. I mean, the coat will have a certain amount of protection against the cold, but one of the first signs of hypothermia is shivering. So if your dog is shivering outside, he might need something extra, like an extra coat or something to keep that warmth in.
Right. I brought along Doug's little homemade jacket, which, by the way, he refuses to wear. He won't move when he has it on, so it's not happening, but I've never seen him shiver.
Exactly. If your dog is not shivering, and if he's out there and he's working and he's creating some body heat that way,
right,
he might not need a coat.
Okay.
So, yeah, absolutely.
What else do we need to keep in mind? I know you wanted to talk to us about maintenance at home in terms of the paws.
Absolutely. Dogs sweat if they are out there working and in the snow and creating some body temperature. They're going to sweat through their pads.
Right.
And if they have long hair underneath their pads, that's where the snow is going to accumulate and freeze, and then you're risking frostbite on the toes.
Right.
So keep that hair trimmed underneath the paws.
Okay, so just trim it with a scissor at home?
Yeah, you bet. Carefully, and if your dog has any issues with holding their hands, then take them to the groomer and have them do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's possible for the dog to suffer from hypothermia. If you think it's just a shiver, you take him home and you can basically treat it yourself at home.
Exactly. Mild hypothermia. So if you notice a little bit of shivering, get him, first thing is to get him out of the cold. Add a sweater the next time you go out. You might want to entice getting them having warm fluids in there by diluted chicken broth, for example.
Right.
Yeah. Anything more than that, severe shivering, any sort of disorientation, a little bit of confusion, you want to be following up with your vet for that.
Right. Time to hit the vet on that one.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a few things that we might find around the neighborhood. I noticed just recently walking my guy that there's a lot of salt out there on the sidewalks to keep pedestrians from slipping.
Exactly.
I worry about him getting into that.
And you're right to be worried. So the de-icing salts that are out there are made to be melting that ice so that we don't slip on it. Dogs walk on it and it can cause inflammation on the paws. They also lick because it's uncomfortable for them, and they can get mouth burns or even intestinal problems, vomiting, etc. as well. So if you're out and about, you can choose for your own property a pet safe brand, but we can't control what everybody else is doing. So make sure when you come back in, wash off and dry your dog's paws to get that de-icing salt off.
And a good idea to do a dry off when they come through the door all the time, right?
Anyways, yeah, especially the little guys lower to the stomach. Get that belly hair.
You don't drag your tummy, do you?
Get the belly hair cleaned off too.
Yeah, there you go. Antifreeze is the other warning that you wanted to remind us about today.
Absolutely. That's probably the most important one in the wintertime.
Right.
The National Animal Poison Control Center, they get a lot of calls. It's in their top 10 toxic substances for dogs. And of course, in wintertime is when it's going to be coming out most. Again, there's pet safe brands that you can choose for your own. But we can't control what everybody else is doing.
Right.
Antifreeze it tastes sweet. Dogs are attracted to it. They might lick on your driveway or in a parking lot, for example, where it pools. And even a teaspoon is enough to harm a small dog like Doug. So a quarter of a cup, it could be fatal.
For a 20-pound dog, yeah.
Doesn't take much at all. So if you suspect that your dog has gotten into antifreeze, you want to be following up with your vet immediately. They might find things like vomiting might be the first signs, and then after 12 hours, they might even start to look like they're getting better, but it's causing damage inside. They can have kidney failure, and once they get into that further stages, it's really difficult to reverse.
All right, Michelle, some great wintertime tips, and we're going to hang out in the snow. Doug's going to hope that this somehow mysteriously gets left behind, and we're off. Yeah. Monty might be the trick on that one. Thanks again, Michelle. Some great reminders for this cold season.
Great. Thanks, Robin.